What's good? Welcome to Global Watch Age. Here on this channel, we keep up with the latest world events. We focus on topics such as the environment, climate, health, cultural exchange, and technology. Let's dive into the latest on international headlines regarding environment and climate. The world is still heating up, with wildfires and policy drama leading the charge. Europe heat is still blazing, fanning massive wildfires, particularly in places like Greece and Spain, making this summer one of the hottest on record. Over in Zambia, the UN Climate Adaptation Expo just wrapped up with a big push for more funding to protect lives from extreme weather. Probably billions needed for vulnerable spots. Plastic pollution talks in Geneva adjourned without a full deal, but countries are staying engaged despite deep divisions. Some call it a flop, partly due to the US taking a tough stance. On a sort of a positive note, our planet is seeing a net boost in photosynthesis from warming and weather conditions over the past couple of decades, all thanks to thriving plants. Africa's holding its second climate summit in Ethiopia to snag more finances for adaptation. The UK is out on progress adapting to climate change, warning of risks like urban fire waves from hot, dry summers. Pollution is on the rise as well. Madrid is in the top 10 most polluted cities currently. Experts are pushing policies to hit wealthy polluters hardest to cut emissions faster. Governments are flexing big time. In the United States, President Donald Trump's EPA is straight up proposing to ditch the fight against climate change by revoking key regulations, with his team prepping attacks on mainstream science, even floating public debates to question basics. That is pushing oil and gas, while China dominates clean energy sales. National security is their driver on both sides. As of August 18th, 2025, the EPA under President Donald Trump, led by Lee Zeldin, dropped a bombshell proposal on the 29th of July 2025, aiming to rescind the Obama era endangerment finding from 2009, which basically says greenhouse gases like CO2 endanger public health and welfare, giving the EPA legal grounds to regulate them under the Clean Air Act. Revoking it would gut the foundation for pretty much all US climate regulations, including limits on emissions from power plants, cars, trucks, and fossil fuel sources, potentially saving industry $54 billion a year by slamming the brakes on federal climate action. The EPA's pitch claims they lack authority to regulate greenhouse gases at all, calling the finding outdated or overreaching. Scientists, environment groups, and Democrats blast it as a full-on assault on climate science, ignoring evidence on global warming's health risks like heat waves, wildfires, and diseases spread. This could make it way harder for states or future admins to tackle emissions. It's part of a greater rollback, proposing to repeal greenhouse gases standards for power plants 11th of June 2025, weaken 24 plus environmental rules, and even tie into cuts at science agencies. The proposals in the public comment phase currently, but if finalized, it would be a game changer, boosting fossil fuels while ditching US leadership on global warming. Now, in the past, President Donald Trump has long downplayed climate change, tying it to real estate, often framing rising seas as a real estate win rather than a crisis, like creating more oceanfront properties instead of losing land. Particularly in an interview with Elon Musk on X, the 12th of August 2024, President Donald Trump said the biggest threat is not global warming. where the ocean is going to rise 1/8 of an inch over the next 400 years, emphasizing you'll have more oceanfront property. He echoed this in Flint, Michigan on September 17, 2024. Global warming equals more seafront property, mocking concerns and saying we are missing out by overreacting. Instead, it could mean prime beach gains. Ironically, back in 2016, his company cited climate-driven sea rise to build a sea wall at his Irish golf course, warning of erosion messing with the property. He's also called global warming a hoax invented by China, a 2012 tweet. The real estate spin highlights how he views it as an opportunity squandered by regulations. China-Taiwan tensions are heating up, with Taiwan's record budget cuts hitting defense and opposition. The US economies the US economy is slowing, with tariffs potentially messing with tech supply chains. Austria is experimenting with climate taxes and rebates to cut emissions. That is all for now, folks. Thank you for your attention, effort, and time. We really appreciate it. Please like, comment, and subscribe, as that boosts engagement, and we really appreciate your feedback.